Hey everybody, it's Drew with Universal Audio, and in this video, I'm gonna show you my top 10 favorite Luna features. Let's jump right in with number one, and that's that Luna's free. It's free for Mac users and now available for Windows users as well. The free version comes with our Oxide tape extension, as well as our Shape multi-instrument plugin and a really great MIDI arpeggiator. And when you claim your free copy, you also get 30 days access to the Luna Pro bundle, which adds the Studer and Ampex tape machine extension and a bunch of other great plugins. So be sure to check that out. So my second favorite feature is Luna's built-in tape machines. These are great for adding warmth, drive, and saturation to all of your tracks, and it's really cool to have it built into Luna's mixer for easy access. So I've got Oxide across all of my tracks, and I found a preset that I like. So let's do a comparison using the bypass extension button to see what Oxide's bringing to the table. So I'm really liking what that's bringing to the table. It's adding some saturation, a little bit of sheen, and I'm digging what it's doing in the mix. So my third feature is Luna's API console emulation. This turns Luna's mixer into a full-fledged analog console. You can choose between the API Vision channel strip or the API 2500 bus compressor on any track, bus, or the main out. Let's take a look. Okay, so to add the console emulation across all of my tracks, I'm gonna hold down Option, click and load API Vision. This puts the console emulation across all tracks. And for the buses, I'm gonna choose the API 2500. So I've dialed in some settings on the API console that I like. Let's do a comparison of before and after the API console. So we've got some subtle changes from the API console stacked on top of Oxide across all of the tracks. Everything is really starting to come together on this, which brings me to my fourth favorite feature, which is Luna's built-in summing options. Let's take a look at those. So I've got the Neve summing on the drums and the main out, and I've chosen API summing for the guitars and vocals. Let's do a before and after and see what they're doing to the mix. So I like what the summing is doing to my mix, but I do want to tweak the reverb, and that brings me to number 5, and that's Luna's preset browser. Let's check it out. So I've got Pure Plate on the lead vocal, but let's try out a couple presets, see if we find something we like better. Okay, so I'm gonna click Default, and that's gonna open up Luna's preset browser pane. Over here, I can use our tagging system. So let's say I want to use a bright reverb that's also short. Luna will serve up a concise list. It's gonna get me where I wanna go much, much faster. So let's check out a couple of these presets on my vocal.
I'm quitting thinking until next weekend. I'm going night swimming in the deep end. And any says.
All right, I like that short, bright plate. In fact, I like it so much, I'm gonna add it to my favorites by clicking this star to the right of the preset name. And now, in the future, if I wanna access my favorites, all I do is click here and it'll show me all of the ones that I've tagged. My sixth favorite feature in Luna is sidechaining. Now you can do this with any plugin, but I'm gonna show you how to do it with the API console emulation. So sidechaining is when you use one track to influence the dynamics processing of another track. Today I'm gonna mix it up a little bit by having my kick drum trigger a gate on the bass. To assign the sidechain in API console, I'm gonna open it up, click the Assign button, and choose Kick as the source. Now that that's assigned, let's actually listen before we do anything to see what the drum and bass are doing together. So we have a legato bass line here, and actually I want to experiment with turning it into a more of a staccato part that plays only with the kick drum. To do that, I'm going to turn on my noise gate, and you'll notice that the noise gate will only open when the kick drum is played. Let's check it out. So here we're using the sidechain as a creative effect to actually kind of change the feel and vibe of the part. This won't always work, but it's fun to try. So my next favorite feature is the Shape instrument plugin. This is free with Luna, and it's got all sorts of sounds in it, everything from piano to strings to basses to drums, everything you might need to get started right away on day one making music. For this song, I'm gonna experiment with replacing the drums with Shape, and I'm gonna use the Ocean Way drums. These are meticulously crafted samples that we did at Ocean Way Studios, so I've programmed the drum parts. But first, let's listen to the original drums to see what we're replacing. Now let's take a listen to the programmed drums using the OWD Kit 1. All right, so now let's hear them in context. So that's a cool option to have in our back pocket, and it really shows the versatility of Shape. So that brings us to number 8, which is Control Surface Compatibility. Luna supports all MCU controllers, as well as Softtube's Console 1 mixing system. Number 9 on the list, Luna's advanced export options. You can export tracks, buses, and the main out all at the same time with lots of cool options. Let's take a look. In Luna's mixdown settings, you can choose the sources here, with options to bypass effects or do real-time or offline mixdown, as well as setting your audio file settings here before completing the process. And for our 10th and final feature, let's talk about Apollos. Luna's an amazing free DAW, but things get even better when you add a Thunderbolt Apollo on Mac or PC. You get Unison technology integrated into Luna. We get accelerated real-time monitoring, which allows for near zero latency tracking no matter where you are in your project. You also get up to 4 low latency Q paths, making Luna with the Thunderbolt Apollo a powerhouse recording solution. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Be sure to let us know your favorite Luna feature and what you'd like us to add next down in the comments. I'll see you next time.